Hello, Divine Feminine, and welcome to your power message for Thursday. Not just any Thursday, it's the full moon in Libra today, and that means that we've got a very powerful energy of balance coming in. So you may feel more balanced today. You're definitely going to be experiencing your masculine energy, and you may even be experiencing these heavy ascension symptoms like I am right now. That's why I'm not showing my face, and I hope to be showing my face soon. You know, dealing with frozen shoulder and dealing with what that means. And I really want to talk today about the art of letting go, because that's what we have to do on this journey as a Divine Feminine. We have to let go. We don't let go of our twin because we are one with our twin, and that's impossible. But we can let go of all the struggle and all the control and all the things that we try and do that can add to the pressure and make things harder. So we're going to talk about that. And yesterday I did a little community post saying, you know, we have a choice every day if we're going to let the journey get to us or we're going to fight. Are you going to be a victim and say how bad everything is and think about how bad everything is? Try and bring other people into how bad everything is? Or are you going to fight for who you are and say, I am a victor of this journey. I'm strong. I'm not going to let this beat me. And we go through this constantly throughout our life. We overcome challenges, triggers and struggles constantly throughout our life, whether it's something we're going through at work, something we're going through at home, something in love, something with health. We have to fight for who we are because we are warriors. And that's really what we're learning right now. So today I'm going to bring in the Divine Feminine Message Tarot, and I'm going to bring in the Goddess Guidance cards. Now obviously I'm struggling to shuffle right now, so I am splaying out the cards and picking them. And I'm also going to bring in the Moonology Oracle, with it being the full moon. And I'm going to bring in the Moonology Manifestation Oracle. And I'm going to bring in the book. So I'm just going to get the Divine Feminine cards. I'm going to splay them all out. And I'm going to see what I'm guided to. So the card coming up is, yeah, look at this, the Five of Wands. I am no longer taking things personally or getting involved in drama. Now this is really powerful because 5 is about change, and we can bring the changes in that we want to see in our life by rising above the pain, rising above the situation and seeing it with love, not fear. I am no longer taking things personally. And when we first begin on this journey, we take things personally. We think it's our fault. We think we've done something wrong, and we feel vulnerable. And we feel afraid. The inner child starts having a tantrum. So we have to really take back our power and harness that power by embracing where we are in the moment and reparenting ourselves with re-education, re-educating ourselves. So in a way, we go back to the school in our life, which is really the school of life, and we learn and grow. So we become the higher version. We see things in a higher way and we say it's okay. It's okay because our inner child has taken that thing personally. And we realise it's nothing actually to do with us at all. It's about their own fears and insecurities. So remember, whatever's going on with the masculine right now, if your masculine is lashing out at you or saying he doesn't care or trying to pull away, it's because he's dealing with his own fears. He's dealing with his own insecurities. It's nothing to do with the way he feels about you at all. In fact, it's because of the way he feels about you, why he's being triggered by all these things. It means he cares more deeply and intensely than sometimes you even know. And what we have to do as a Divine Feminine is pull back and not get involved in drama. Remember the saying, not your circus, not your monkeys. And it's the same when the masculine is dealing with his own stuff. Let him deal with it his way. Pull yourself back into you, your own energy, working on self-love, gratitude, healing, working on finding your way and doing your thing. And then you start loving life again. You're focusing on gratitude, self-love, the good things, seeing the positive, looking for the blessing, and you start feeling stronger. And that's when we respond with love instead of reacting with fear. And that always brings in change, required change needed to feel strong and alive. And on this journey, we let go. So I just want to talk a little bit about the art of letting go. And even in union, I am learning how to let go. And it's really powerful how this has come up because, as you know, I'm dealing with shoulder pain right now. And shoulder pain is about carrying around burdens. And I'm just looking in my book while I'm connecting with you all to find my Heal Your Body book by Louise Hay. Now, This book is really powerful. I talk about this constantly. I mean, obviously I've created a twin flame ascension oracle, but whenever I go through anything within my own body, I connect with Archangel Raphael. I ask what the lesson is, what I'm learning, what the blessing is. And I also connect with this book too. And it's really powerful because if we go to the shoulders, and actually they're showing me as well inflammation, because, inflammation is also when our shoulder can feel inflamed or something feels hot or there's pain going on. And the message is, my thinking is peaceful, calm and centered. So we have to bring ourselves into a more peaceful, calm and centered way of thinking and being when we're on this journey as a divine feminine. Not just when we are coming up to union, but also when we are in union. Because I don't go through the things anymore that I did before union, like jealousy or worrying or thinking that he doesn't love me or any of those things, because I totally trust him and we have this life together. But it's more things that I have to let go of control of. So in other words, I still struggle to have a control around the house. If the dishes aren't done, I make sure I do them. If the washing needs doing, and I do it. It's that kind of keeping the house operative, keeping it to some kind of schedule, but making sure everything's done there and then. I'm one of those people, and as a divine feminine, we tend to have that in us. There is the exceptions of the rule who don't try and control, but most of the divine feminines, and I'm sure you can relate to this too, you try and control things, whether it's at work, within your own body, your own schedule, and, with the connection too. We try and keep it going, we try and keep that communication going, or we try and find a solution, or we try and explain, or we try and nurture, because that's what the divine feminine does. The divine feminine is the empress, and the empress is the nurturer. So we try and make things right. It's a lot like a mother, because the empress has got the mother spirit within anyway. So the empress is really like the mother, and the mother wants to look after everybody and make sure everybody's okay and got what they need. And the mother wants to help. And that's why we are all working on service. That's why we are all connected as light workers, because we've come here to serve. We've come here to help. We've come here to look after people and help people to see things in a higher way. So we want to nurture. So it's a lot like the mother, if the child has a tantrum and goes and hides in his room or her room, the mother wants to go and help. Come out, it's dinner time, or trying to be there, trying to, sort things out and create a resolution. Whereas the child sometimes just needs space. And that's a lot like the dynamic between the feminine and the masculine. And that's because of the spiritual level of maturity. So a lot of the time, the feminine is the more mature one spiritually, no matter what the physical age, whether you're the older one or the younger one. The feminine understands and grasps things more, is more open to the love, is more in the energy of the love in the present moment. And the masculine struggles with that because he's afraid of the love. And he's still tapped into the matrix reality. He may still be in a karmic relationship or dealing with a situation. And he feels afraid of being himself. He feels afraid of letting you down, of letting himself down, of being a failure. And that's a lot like how we feel sometimes as a child. So we can go and hide in our room. And we need that time to process what we're going through and come out when we're ready. And that's a lot like what the masculine does when he goes into the hermit mode. He'll shut down, he'll hide away, he may block you or ghost you. And then he'll come forward when he's ready. So rather than trying to coax him out of that room like the mother does, the mother knows the wisest course of action is to go about her day. She may be thinking about the child and wondering what the child's doing, hoping the child is okay, but she knows that when the time is right, he will emerge and come downstairs and see what's going on. And that's really what happens, because the child will get curious and want to come down and eat and, live again instead of just being stuck in one place. And that's really what the masculines go through. So the masculines eventually, if you're going about your business, divine feminine, doing you, it doesn't mean you stop thinking about them or caring about them or you move on from them. It means you just put them on the back burner for a while. It means you put yourself first for a while. You start giving to you and doing things you love to do. And it gets a little easier to deal with when we're going through separation or there isn't a communication there. And then eventually the masculines will start missing you. I mean, they miss you anyway, but they will allow themselves to miss you, and that's the difference. And when they do that, they start coming out of the cave, seeking you out, looking up social media, seeing what you're doing, testing the water. And that's when they make their move and come forward. So during these times when there's silence or separation, when we are learning to let go, we can affirm my thinking is peaceful, calm and centered. I no longer take things personally or get involved in drama. And as I was saying about what I'm going through with my shoulder pain, and I'm just looking in this little book here, which is really powerful. I can really recommend it. Louise L. Hay, Heal Your Body. Or there is a bigger version of this, Heal Your Life. And he's got every single physical thing we go through and the reasons why. And obviously I've channeled my Twin Flame Ascension Oracle as well. So, if you go to the playlist, you can find that if there's something significant you're going through and you want to know what's going on with it. But shoulders represent our ability to carry our experiences in life joyously. We make life a burden by our attitude. Now, that means it's the way we see things that causes a problem. Now, I'm dealing with ascension symptoms, which means I'm dealing with the collective energy because I'm channeling it constantly. And when you're constantly connecting with the masculine energy on that scale every day, it can be hard to deal with sometimes. But I'm also very aware that I'm also healing these things within my own connection and within my own personal journey, being on the menopause and these kind of things. So I've been really paying attention to what's been going on around me. And that's really the message that came in yesterday. Pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities, the things we're being shown. So I've really been paying attention to what's been going on here with me. And I realise that, I have to let go of control. And I've always known this, even as I've come into union, because I'm the one who's constantly on edge, or not really on edge, but trying to get things done. Making sure the house is in order, making sure the dishes are done, the washing's done, that the house is tidy. Whereas George is more laid back, which the masculines are most of the time, unless they're operating in feminine energy. And they're more laid back, they go with the flow more. Whereas that's what they teach us. The masculine teaches the feminine to go with the flow. The feminine teaches the masculine to step up and ask for what they want and to be more assertive. Because sometimes the masculines just let things go by, or they let the feminine take the lead, where the masculines need to take the lead too. It needs to be balanced. So I've noticed around the house, the reason that I'm struggling right now with my shoulder is because things aren't balanced in the house. The balance within the connection, but not within the house. And that's something I'm learning too, which means I get very frustrated if the dishes aren't done, or, there's mess around, and I'll say to George, can you do this? And he'll say, yeah, when I get to it. And that can trigger me because I think, well, it's there, do it. That's what I would do. And that's a lot of the time what we struggle with on the journey, because as a feminine, we try and we want them to do it our way. We expect them to do it our way because that's the way we would do it. But we don't learn from that. And they don't learn from that either, because they have to do it their way. So yes, our way may be easier and it may lead to a better outcome, and their way may take a lot longer, but they learn that way. And sometimes George I'll say, can you put me the rubbish out? And he'll say, yeah, in a minute. And I kind of get frustrated, so I put it out there and then. And he'll say, you don't give me time, Liz. You don't give me time. And that's what we learn as a divine feminine. Before union, we don't really give it the time, because we have to learn to let go and trust in divine timing and trust the process of our life in all ways. So the affirmation with the shoulders here is, I choose to allow all of my experiences to be joyous and loving. I choose, and we have a choice. We choose to be the victim of our reality, or we choose to be the victor of our reality. That means we see the good in all things. And I've really been, over the last few days with this, shoulder pain, been learning how to let go, been learning how to be flexible and adaptable with my own routine, because I can't show my face on camera right now. Why? Because I can't put makeup on. I can't move my arm properly to get dressed right. I certainly can't put a wig on. I can't even brush my hair. So this is very much about releasing control. And, because I've had to step back in this way physically, George has had to step in. So George is doing more housework and, doing more things around the house. And I have to trust him to do that in his way. Instead of standing there with a clipboard saying, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way, which just causes drama and struggle. So we're learning how to not take things personally and not get involved in the drama and be more relaxed. And that's really what I'm feeling with this. I'm more centered, at peace and relaxed. So use those affirmations today. Now, there's another card moving here too. Yeah, the Hanged Man. I'm learning to observe my thoughts. So during the delays or the separation or the time when we can't be with our twin for whatever reason, we're learning to observe our thoughts, to pay attention, to understand, to see things in a much higher way. And sometimes even listening without the visual has power, because we can close our eyes and take the messages in. And I know that's another reason why I'm being guided to do the readings in this way right now. And also because George does his readings this way, he may show his hands moving around, which I could do, but I prefer to allow you to see the cards right now so you can focus on the image and the words and feel it and kind of go into a meditative state when you are listening to the words. When we listen, we receive more. So using our ears more than our eyes allows us to feel and connect more in a high way. So I want to bring in the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. And don't get me wrong, I can move my arm slightly, but I am trying to give it a little bit of ease. So I'm just going to pull a card. So the card coming out here, we've got White Taurus sensitivity. And it says, you are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations and chemicals. Now, that makes so much sense to me as well because, with me being on perimenopause right now, I'm really being guided to change my diet, lifestyle and the things I do. To slow down. And you know how it is in your life when you're running around trying to do 100 things at once and get 100 things done. We have to slow down because we become sensitive, whether that's sensitive to ascension symptoms or things we've ate or drank before that don't seem to do it for us anymore. It brings us heartburn or acid reflux, or it doesn't make us feel very good anymore, or, the things that we used to do. We've all got a past, and the person we were in the past is usually not who we are today. In my past, I was a big drinker. I used to love drinking alcohol, going out, socialising, smoking cigarettes, drinking lots of tea, and, just not being very good to my body. And then when I hit 30, I'm 46 now, so it's been, 16-year journey of me releasing. I quit alcohol, smoking cigarettes, caffeine, red meat, all the things that were toxic to me. But even still now, I don't eat enough vegetables or drink enough water because life can get in the way. And it's easy sometimes to have convenience foods or to wait to have a drink of water or, to just think, I'll just get through what I'm doing and then think about me. And we have to think about ourselves more and more. So with this white rabbit energy, the white rabbit this is my rabbit here, resembling the water rabbit that came in with the Chinese New Year this year. The water rabbit brought in many opportunities for change. And at the end of January, I spoke about how if we move past February with things that we've been doing that no longer serve us, and that can be for us as well, Divine Feminine. I'm not just talking about karmic relationships that need to end, but things that you're doing to yourself that are very harmful to you. Things that you keep thinking, I'll give that up tomorrow, or I'll think about it tomorrow. It could be things like caffeine. It could be things like eating lots of chocolate. It could be things like, not exercising or being good to yourself in some way. We're really being shown now, as we're in the heart now of this change, that we can't do those things anymore. And if we continue to do them, we're going to struggle with physical ascension symptoms. And also we need to ground ourselves more because we're becoming more sensitive. George said to me just yesterday, Liz, you need to be grounding yourself more. You need to go in nature more. You need to walk on the grass with no shoes on and feel the nature. And I thought, well, yeah, I do, because I don't do that as much. And, we need to be getting more sunlight and being outdoors more. These are the things we're being guided to do in 2023, so we can handle things much better, the things we're sensitive to, and rise above the drama and that pain, and observe our thoughts and no longer take things personally. And if you are in this energy right now, if you are taking things personally, if you're feeling sensitive, if you feel like what's the point or you're not sure what to do, we've all been there. Every single one of us, whether we are in union or out of union, we've all been there, and they give me fear, burpee energy. So the best way to handle it is, one, to start with gratitude by looking around at your life right now, because there's always something to be grateful for. Even if you're focused on the negatives, when you consciously focus on the positives, you'll find them, even if it takes you a while. The positive is you're alive right now. You can breathe the air. Be grateful for both arms working properly, because I can't move my right one right now. Be grateful for things you take for granted, like brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, getting dressed, raising your arms up in the air. Be grateful for the food on the table and the water you can drink. Be grateful for the home you live in, the life you have, the things you've learned. Be grateful for the love you feel, even though it can cause you pain, because it shows you are alive. Be grateful for everything and rise. And that puts you into a high vibration. And when you're in that high vibration, you start to look for answers and solutions instead of looking for the problem. And the way we do that then is we are given the direction. So you may be directed to a video to watch like this one that makes you feel better. And it resonates with something deep within the soul, because you know that, wow, I understand that. That's something you remember from deep within the soul. Or you may be guided to a playlist where the exact information you need is in there. So you no longer take things personally and you rise up. You start understanding it from a higher perspective with the eyes of love, not the eyes of fear, which means you start looking at it through a new lens. And you think, wow, my masculine is in pain right now. He does love me. He does care, even if he's acting or saying opposite, because he's dealing with his own pain. So remember your sensitivity right now. And I feel this is definitely as well physical sensitivity. It could be sensitivity in the teeth because you need to make a decision, or you're connecting with masculine decisions. Or it could be sensitivity to light because you feel blinded by the information or the power of the love. The way we have to adjust when we look at the sunshine. Or you're adjusting because you're becoming more psychic and spiritual and aware. So your chakra system may be more sensitive. You may be having stomach issues in the solar plexus. You could be having back pain. You could be having, like a raspy throat or pain in the ears or the eyes. These are things because you're becoming more sensitive. And this is really what the full moon is doing. The full moon, which I'm going to bring in the full moon cards now. The full moon is opening doors and it's allowing us to heal certain things in our life. So the energy of the full moon, look at this, a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra, close enough, we're at the full moon. So the new moon is, soon. If we look at my little timetable here, I've got my little book. So, we've got the pink moon right now. And pink is about love, remember, and beauty and grace. And Libra is about balance. You've got the scales there on the card as well. And the new moon is in Aries on April the 20th. So, the Aries is the action, which is what we're in now, this fiery energy. So the reason that card's come up, because even though we're in a full moon in Libra, it's actually the new that's coming in. It's bringing in a new romantic cycle. It's bringing in a new season. We're moving towards Easter at the weekend. So lots of rebirth and change and balancing the scales and seeing things in a higher way and releasing the burdens. What they're actually showing me in that picture there is a person and their arms out and the weight. So, if you are having shoulder issues like me, it's because you may be carrying around burdens right now, because adjustments are required. So we have to make the required adjustments. The masculines know exactly what they need to do. It may be taking them a little bit of time to do it, but they know what they have to do. And if they don't do it, they're going to feel ill and drained and tired even more than they've ever felt. And they're going to be going through physical things. So the angels are guiding them what to do and what to change and what decisions to make. So families, this is a time for you to be patient and to trust the journey and to understand that everything moves forward in time. So I'm just moving this deck out of the way, and I'm going to bring in the Moonology manifestation. So when I'm doing these cards, just like when I do a quick card pull, I just splay the cards out, I put them in so you can see, and then I'm guided to a card. The cards we've got coming up is the new moon in Gemini, think it through, and they are giving me a little bit of a block in the throat chakras. I'm connecting with that card there. So if there is blocks in communication right now, delays, it's because we're thinking things through. This has to be thought through. The masculines are thinking things through because it's not just as easy as walking away. They have to make sure they've got enough money, their life is in order, and their situation is taken care of. And we've got honour your feelings, the first quarter moon in Pisces here. So honour your feelings today. Allow yourself to feel what you were going through and focus on peace. And write down your feelings if it makes it easier to deal with. So I'm going to bring the book in today. So very, very powerful message coming in. You know, to honour your feelings, to trust the love, and to be at ease with everything. So yesterday we got the message, tell yourself I love you. And today we've got visualize angels. Wow. Visualize angels. It says one way to communicate with us angels is through images that you hold in your mind's eyes. When you visualize us, it's the same as summoning us to your side. Take some deep breaths today to become very still. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and picture many angels surrounding you. And this is also a great way to visualize your twin being with you, to connect with your twin on the 5D realm, to feel the power of the love. Envision talking with us and pouring your heart out and receiving love, wisdom, support, and guidance. And I feel you can also do that with your twin. You know, you can envision talking to your twin and pouring out your heart and then receiving love back from them, wisdom, support, and guidance. It doesn't matter how detailed your visualization is because your intention of connecting is always the same. That's what yields successful results. Even if you're unaware of them, remember that we are conscious of you even though you may not see us. We are conscious through every thought and feeling. And this is really the energy of the masculine saying, remember, I am conscious of you in every way. I'm conscious of every thought and feeling, even if you can't see or hear me. I love you unconditionally, and we are eternally patient. And that's what the angels are saying to you. We love you unconditionally, and we are eternally patient. We can hear you and see you, even if you can't hear or see us. So today, visualize angels surrounding you, healing you, uplifting you, guiding you, protecting you, and loving you. And talk with your angels all through this day, telling them everything and always asking for help. You know, without the angels, I wouldn't be here now. You know, I wouldn't have got through this journey. I certainly wouldn't be in union. I wouldn't be on YouTube. And I wouldn't be able to get through days like this one. Or instead of being the victim and thinking, oh, it's all bad and I'm in pain, I think I'm going to fight through this. This isn't going to beat me. What am I learning through this right now? How can I become the observer of my thoughts? How can I take charge of this situation? How can I enjoy this day regardless of what's going on? And that's what picks you up inside. So today, visualize the life you want to live. Visualize talking to your twin. Visualize connecting with the angels. Visualize everything as you want it to be. So if something isn't how you want it to be right now, visualize it whole and complete. For example, for me, you know, visualizing raising my arms up in the air is really working for me. I can't get them up yet, but I will do because I'm visualizing it. Visualize you walking hand in hand with your twin, or meeting their family, or being at the aisle in the chapel waiting to get married, or going on holiday together. Visualize these things and it will bring in power and it will bring in joy. But the energy of the full moon is bringing in balance, adjustments and change to bring in a new romantic cycle. So the message for you today, Divine Feminine, whatever's delayed or whatever's going on, whatever you're going through, you're learning to observe your thoughts, to pay attention and to not take things personally or get involved in drama. And to do that, we have to make adjustments in our minds. We have to focus on love. We honour our feelings by being true to ourselves and thinking it through before we act without thinking, reacting to situations. So become the observer to respond with love and understand things are moving forward romantically because you are both becoming more sensitive to each other, to the situation you're in, the things you allow into your environment, the things you're putting into your body. And that's why we're guided to make powerful change. So let me know in the comments section today if you are being guided to make certain changes in your life, your lifestyle, your eating habits, your diet, or the things you were paying attention to. Maybe you're not watching as much TV, or you don't want to be around swear words anymore, or you don't want to be around gossip or negative energy. You're taking control and taking your power back, and that's bringing in peace. I hope this helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.